from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. It's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rocking Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Saints trot onto the field behind the veteran right arm of Drew Brees, a former Purdue Boilermaker who entered the league back in 2001.
All in all, he was pretty solid in the victory in the wild card round and threw a couple of touchdowns. And when it comes to quarterback play, you'd always love spectacular. But in the playoffs, you'll take solid. And that's exactly what they're looking for from him again in this contest.
From the gun, it's Brees. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brees. Finding Harris over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Incomplete on the throw.
And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So here are the Bucs backed up to start their initial drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the 2nd round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from him. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. The LSU man, Leonard Fournette, born right here in New Orleans. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
First down. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brady buying time to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Tom Brady flashing the mobility, scrambling there for a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock is going off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And they're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Brady now to throw. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. And there's also a flag to go with it. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Brady. And this is going to be intercepted. picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first down.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's by Antoine Winfield Jr.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. So after the INT, it's Brady. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position. And that was special there.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slant route. And the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat. And then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. On the draw, this is Fournette. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a Next Gen Stats says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. So Brady and the Bucs need to work a little magic. 3rd and long after that last sack. Throw there, incomplete.
Intended for Mike Evans, incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, Ryan Succop now for the Buccaneer field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Bucs take a 3-0
lead. Saints nothing.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Levante David in on the tackle.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Well, they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Remember, they tried to get the ball and let it run for the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time, they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brees. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And brought in by the tight end Cook. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Brees on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Brady. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, DeMario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And he's got Miller. And he's going to have a Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. It's caught inside the 25. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 36 yards on the play.
We saw these guys have some big plays in their wild card win last week, and they're certainly going to need to continue to put up plays like we just saw there if they hope to continue to move on in these playoffs.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Brady again. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Trey Hendrickson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Brady to Evans on the slant. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Let's go, come on!
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, it's Brady. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
3-yard line.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. And we will not see a run back here from Harris.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And you work so hard during the regular season to earn that bye to go to the divisional round fresh. Well, maybe they're too fresh because they've come out here pretty flat.
And how many times have we seen it? And let's go to other sports now. Let's go to basketball, baseball, those ones where the playoffs are a series. And you see teams who were playing before versus the team that had the bye, and they take them on. And how often does that team that's been playing before win game one? Almost always, right? Feels that way anyway. When it's a one-shot deal like the NFL, that's critical because now you come in and you get the momentum. You can take them out in that one game, and it's over. And those other ones, that team at home usually gets a chance to recover, and they're usually the better team.
Well, they better halt that momentum on the other side quickly, or this might be their last game. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Breeze. And that's going to be incomplete.
Thrown away and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Takes over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC divisional round game. And it was the Green Bay Packers who will continue on in these playoffs as they were able to take care of the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Bucs take over first and 10. At their own 21-yard line.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Fournette running out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
To throw on third down, Brady. Open man is got it. It's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Leonard Fournette. Demario Davis there on the stop.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the 1st down. Keeper it at 2nd and 1.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
They started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. 4 yards the pickup. 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
There's Breeze. And that is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it'll be 2nd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, it's Breeze. He's got Burton here. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
Drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at the 34. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try to keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Good job.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Brady looking downfield for Godwin. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Seems pretty obvious defensively the key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Brady to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
After that throw, it was definitely one that he would love to have back. I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
Is good. Makes the score Buccaneers 13, Saints nothing.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And we will not see a run back here from Harris.
25-yard line.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of the guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave earlier in order to get acclimated if it's going to be a tough environment against the team you're going to play. So being at home was a big deal, but now they know, at least they feel like it, they're moving on to the championship round. There's got to be no better feeling. They'll get that 24-hour rule in. Enjoy that before they look forward to the next opponent.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Shotgun now for Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. That catch good for only a couple. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. From the gun, it's Breeze. And that'll be incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
He'll let this thing go for Sanders. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. Emmanuel Sanders, 49 yards. And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this. I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. On for the point after. And that'll make it 13-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Saints 7. Out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
And this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set to go again here, the Saints and Drew Brees march out there again on offense. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
To throw again on 2nd down. Breeze. And his throw here's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
Down and 7.
Now Breeze. And he finds Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down, but this one lines up to be incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Breeze to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on fourth down. They'll go for it. It's Breeze. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
To throw is Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, 27 yards. And the Saints can take the lead if they can hit the extra point. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Lots to try to add the PAT. And this puts them on top by a penny. It's 14-13. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Let's take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So here's Brady and the Bucs. Trailing 14-13, a minute 17 remains. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. Now Brady. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. Now the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Well, this has been all that we'd hoped for. 2 of the game's all-time great QBs slugging it out in a 1-score game here in the second half. 1st and 10. Now on first down, they run with Kamara. He'll take it forward for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game.
32-yard line.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll get this down to about the 31-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Back to throw, Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down, so you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. And here's a big one now, trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's across for a touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown puts him up 7. But now's when the fun begins, partner, because if you go ahead and kick the extra point, it's still a 1-possession game. Go for 2, you might put it out of reach.
Yeah, a little decision to be made. Alonso looked to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. 1-possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go.
It's caught inside the 25. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Back to throw. Looking for the end zone. And he can't hang on to it. That one is sealed it. Instead, 2nd down.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
And that's a touchdown, but hold on, there is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
Holding offense.
Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Brady to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Gronk, so tough to cover, sometimes the flag's going to come out.
His size and his ability create a lot of these pass interference calls. If you're trying to go through him to get to the ball, that's almost impossible, and he benefits on the play.
To throw is Brady. And he gets in just in the nick of time, so they get the touchdown they need. Now they need a 2-point conversion to tie it.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
The touchdown saved their playoff lives momentarily. Now for the 2-point conversion. He'll look to throw. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Everything was riding on that 2-point conversion, and they got it.
They got it. They now have the momentum. Time really dwindling in this game. Now their big deal is make sure they get a good kickoff and don't give up anything big on the defensive end.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines, but then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sideline?
It's the old leverage game, and we usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, you're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them inbounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late. Now one final throw incomplete, and time will run out here in the 4th quarter, and we are going to overtime. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We can call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
And here now the offense heading back out there. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Jones. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. First throw of overtime for Brady. Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 39. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on second and 6. Brady. Oh, he almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on third down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Throwing is Brady on third down. And down he goes. A second back right around the 31-yard line. Trey Hendrickson, his second sack of the night. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a gain.
What can Breeze do now with his drive? And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he's out right at the That'll put him north of 100 yards receiving now in this divisional round game. It's a first down.
So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2.
Again, it's Kamara. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Able to find Harris, complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Incomplete.
Breeze pass. Thrown away and incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 9.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Harris. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. Brings up a 3rd down.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Breeze. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But, partner, look where the ball's being placed now. They're deep in the red zone, which to me, that opens up their options because they can run the field goal kicker out there right now, or they can decide to run a play and put it into the perfect position he might require in order to make the game-winning kick.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Throwing now is Breeze. And he's going to score. It's a touchdown. No flags. And in an overtime thriller, they are moving on in the playoff.
No rest. They get to keep playing.
Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side. And now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? The OTAs and mini camps before that. Going through the regular season, fighting and scratching and clawing to make it to the playoffs. And then to get to this game, one game short of a conference championship, they'll have the whole offseason to think about it. Let's see if they use it as motivation.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.